ってやるか。ニューゲーム。ノーマルモード。
優しいコメントお待ちしてます。スマイリ
ー。かわいい。まあ、近いとは思うけど、かわいい。ああ、外れちゃった道を。あらららら。かわいそう。ああ。
There is a place
な
where
っ
the
てし
lost
まっ
embers
た
go.
エンバー族には向かう先があります。エンバー族。
As their light begins to fade.
彼らの光が弱り始めてしまっているのです。かわいいな。これ私かい？あ、起きた。かわいい。動かせる。
Ember stood still,
エンバーは立
unable
ち止
to
まったまま
face
こ
what
こ
was
か
to
ら
come.
訪れるものに立ち向かわなければ立ち向かえられないままでした。早いな。かわいいな。ジャンプはできないのかは。はい。
The wall glistened.
壁がきらめいています。
The painting showed embers on a sacred journey.
絵には旅をするエンバー族が描かれています。かわいい。かわいいな、この子。なんかしおれてるぞ。大丈
Ember
夫か。
felt so afraid and alone.
エンバー族は恐怖と孤独かを感じ
That
てい
it
たの
was a
で、
relief to find someone to talk to.
誰かと話ができることをほっとしました。ことでほっとしましたか。ああ、死んでるよ。ああ、
Ember
骨だ。
almost too frightened to look away.
凍りついたエンバーは恐怖で目をそらすことができませんでした。死んでる。骨だ。
When they noticed the small satchel,
彼らは小さなカバンに気がつきました。彼らはでこの人しかいないやん。ああ、取り上げた。窃盗です。頭撫でても窃盗よ、それは。見知らぬ者のカバン。窃盗しちゃった。死体からカバン剥ぎ取ったぞ、こいつ。意外と。
the satchel felt heavy.
そのカバンを重たく感じました。エンバーはその中身を見てみました。
The statue shone brightly in the
像が
light.
光に照らされ輝きました。金の像。銅じゃないんだ、これ金なんだ。急に億万長者になったじゃん、こいつ。どうすんの金の像。おい、かわいそうに、こんな。しわしわになって、アップで見れないのかよ、これ。かわいそうに。歩き方もルンルンじゃねえか、お前。人のカバン奪って。
There was a symbol on the floor.
床にはシンボルが書かれています。炎のシンボル。
Ember noticed something
エ
wrong.
ンバーは異変に気づきます。おー、すごいすごいすごいすごいすごい。謎解きゲームみたい。おー。ほら。ファイヤー。
There was a round space where something used to fit.
ここには何かが置かれていた丸いスペースがあったのです。絶対あの像じゃん。人のカバンから奪った金の像をお前使おうとして。
To Ember's delight, the golden statue slid
エンバーは
perfectly
金
into
の
place.
像がぴったりとはまったので喜びました。X を中押しでスピードを刻む。いいね、パズル要素があっていいね。はい。こういうことだよね。開けごま。一緒に行こうぜ、したい。したいよ。やばい、このキャラクターめっちゃ可愛いな。
Ember left, feeling sorry for the
エンバー
stranger
は暗
now
闇の草
alone
で
in
見
the
知らぬ
dark.
ものを気の毒に思いながらその場を去りました。気の毒に思いながらその場を去りましたとか言って。中身強盗してるから。やることやってんな、こいつ。
The stairway opened into a dark
闇の森
forest.
の中へと続く階段が開きま
Ember
した。
could feel fear taking
エ
over.
ンバーは恐怖に飲み込まれていくのを感じました。
They'd washed up alone.
彼らはどこからも知らぬ場所に流れ着きました。彼らはって彼でしょ。エンバー、なんか落とし物ないかい？ないね。鳥。
Ember felt like they were being watched.
エンバーは誰かに見られていたような気がしました。ここ。キツネだ。
The foxes howled into the night.
あれ、キツネな。顔が。夜空に向かって遠吠えをしてい
The
ます。
only reply
それに返ってくる返答は静寂です。
The path was blocked.
血が塞がっています。あ、いたぞ今。お、エンバーの別のやついたぞ今。別のエンバーがいましたよ。 なあこれ。
As Ember approached, the flames seemed to call out.
エンバーが近づくとその火が声をかけてきているようでした。しるべの光。
With a feeling like falling, the forest had slipped away. Ember felt lost in darkness and
ああ、これでなんかやるのか。
as Ember approached, with a feeling like falling, the forest had slipped away. Ember felt lost in darkness and ruin.
ほほほ。
The caged flame stoked new hope in Ember. ああ、降りるのね、これで。鉄を取って、こっちに持っていくと。瓦礫が邪魔でああ、いいんだ。ここから登れると。で、にょい。 Hope was almost within reach. The flame spoke and Ember
炎
listened.
が発信し始めるとエンバーはそれに耳を傾けました。
The flame lingered ahead.
この炎がその先に残っています。
Was it trying to escape?
逃げようとしていたのでしょうか。
Or leading the way?
それとも道を示していたのでしょうか。死体。お、すごい。生き返った。
The campfire flickered into life.
キャンプファイアがパチパチと起こりました。
The ghost spoke.
幽霊は言いました。
Hope has
希
returned
望
to
は
a
フォー
forlorn.
ローンへ戻った。
I will warm them.
希望はここでなら安全だ。私が温めておく。
Ember looked to the ghost
メン
for
バー答えを
answers.
求めて幽霊の方を見ました。ここはどこ？
This is a place
ここは、こ
between
の世
places.
とあの世の定ま。
To travel through as
旅を
your
すれば
light
君の
fades.
光は少しずつ奪われていく。
But none have passed
し
on
かし
in a
長い
long
間通
time.
り抜けた者はいなかっ
The
た。
forest king now holds us
森
here,
の王が私たちをここに留めている。
and those who linger will turn forlorn.
思い悩み続ける者はフォーローンになってしまう。
Again, that word,
またフ
forlorn.
ォーローンという言葉です。フォーローン。
The forlorn are those who lost their way along the path.
あなたは道に迷った者たちのことだ。
If you find them,
彼らを見つけたら私のもとへ連れてくるのです。私が彼らを再び導こう。君は誰？
I am just a guide along the way to fan the
炎を
flame.
ための道しるべに過ぎない。
So many lost
迷
embers
った円
have
盤
I
はたく
seen.
さんこ
More
の
than
目
I
に
could
して
help.
きた。私が助けられるよりもずっと多くの円盤を。
Ember thought of those they loved.
円盤は彼らが愛した人たち、彼らが残してきた人たちのことを考えました。みんなを助けたい。
There are others lost along their journey. Find them and I will guide them. Step
小
backwards,
さな
little
円盤、後ろ
Ember.
の
Look
下がり
behind.
なさい。後
Upon
ろ
a
を
small
見るので
grassy
す。
cliff
その
rests
広
a
場の崖
forlorn.
に腰掛けているのはフォーロン。
The stranger said, "Take care of those you care about the most."
はい。
The door was sealed shut.
後ろを見なさいって言ってた。あそこにいる、あれかい？でもどうやってそっちに行くんだろう。まだ行けないのか。あ、こっち側から行ける。オッケー。何なんだ君たちは。かわいい。てい。てい。登れないんですよね。降りれないんですね。どうすんのこれ。まだ行けないってことかな。
Barely visible through the and on a small pier with barely a sound, a lonely fisherman sat.
どう行くの？あれは何なんだ？そこにもいる。いっぱいいるな。これ。合ってた。
The stranger was trapped, caught in a maze.
けないんだ。はあはあはあはあ。あれどうするんだろう。いや、触れなくなった。まだ触っちゃいけなかったかな。落とせんのかなあれ。落としてみ、やめて。落としてみるか。落とせない。いや、でも、ここ以外にどうすんの？なんかできんのかな？ここしか無理だよね。
It was hard to make sense of this place.
この場所を理解するのはすごく困難です。降りれない。なんか積んでる気がするな、すでに。絶対助ける。もう一回見して。
The stranger was trapped, caught in a maze.
ここは合ってるんだよ。こうじゃないと進めないから。で、落として、なんかあっち側から落とさなきゃいけないよな、絶対。どうすればいいんだ。止まった。 出よう。ここに向けたいの。押せない。後ろ下がれるのかな。下がれないよな。じゃあで、
It was hard to make sense of this place.
なんか間違ってるのかな、すでに。いけない。不便だな。ここでこんな積むか。これをやったとして、あ、じゃあ 何か変わるわけじゃないしな。押せないべ。どうだ。あ、なんそれ。この上に乗って別にどうするわけでもないしな。汚染してな。押せんくなるもんな。何がしたいのこれ。ああ、積んでる。
stranger was trapped, caught in a maze.
こっちしか押せないんだよね。いやーでも最初の位置はでもあそこしかできないしな。
The stranger was trapped, caught in a maze. 'It was hard to make sense of this place.
持ってったところでだよね。 お、できたんじゃないこれ。落とします。で、落とします。で、で、戻る。あ、いや、関係ないわ。あ、これいけたかも。こうだ。あー、すっきり。
The stranger's voice was hoarse. I just need some time, I think, to see things clearly. The stranger's voice was hoarse. I just need some time, I think, to see things.
よし。多分あれで一匹助けられた。
The ember was curious. Where did you wake up? I'm headed for the crossroads. It's not far, I think. I've heard there's a nest there. A safe place. The fisherman murmured quietly between sorrowful breaths. The fisherman felt so useless. His former joys were hollow.
なにこれ。
Sitting out there every day by the pond, only the dark water to hear him talk. In that darkness, a glimmer flickered.
持って帰るの。
Thoughts beating like a drum. A thought that went round and round. It all started with a frog. Every day by the pond, a constant reminder.
Hi, おじいちゃん。
For a brief moment, the fisherman struggled to speak. He looked at Ember, hopeful. The fisherman spoke softly. Saw him grow from a tadpole. We were friends of us, spent every day side by side. So much better at fishing than me, that frog is. Catches them before I can bait them. it makes me feel useless some days. The fisherman sighed. I've wasted so much time. The old man looked carefully at the pond, at their rod, at Ember. Well, listen to me here. It helps though, telling someone. Thank you. If you need help catching anything, you just ask.
心強いぜ、じいじ。
Poor little worms. But how do you fish without one for me, one for the fishes? Slurp 'em down. You saw the frog? Did the frog mean you asked the frog about me? Actually, please don't tell the frog how much I talk about them. If you need help catching anything, you just ask.
はーい。
The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling. Its eyes were fixed on Ember. Was this the frog that the fisherman spoke of? Ember could hardly ignore the rumbling from the frog's belly. The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling.
食べようとしとるよ。
They say catching a fish, so I tell myself that a lot. I chased old Blue Betty best days of my life. Had to use myself as bait. Stuck on me. If you need help catching anything, you just ask.
カエルさん。
The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling. Its eyes were was this the frog that the fish? Ember could hardly ignore the rumbling from the frog's belly. The traveler said, "Friend, you need go see the builder in the caves. Tell them I'm sorry I never came back."
Oh.
The stranger had blazed their own path. created their own rock, their own islands.
それを持ったまま上には行けないんだもんね。
They did not need Ember's kindness.
Hmm? どういうこと?
But still, Ember stayed. Building a bridge should it ever be needed. The stranger met Ember's eyes. The two shared a moment of silence. The stranger met Ember's eyes. The two shared a moment of silence.
何も取れない。
The traveler said, "Friend, you need go see the builder in the caves. Tell them I'm sorry I never came back."
戻るか。
The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." The forest king watches the door. The campfire will light. Find those who are lost. Bring embers to the fire. Step backwards, little ember. Look behind. Upon a small grassy cliff rests a forlorn. The stranger thought, "I feel ready to move on." The stranger said thoughtfully, "I felt so alone. I was so lost."
あと4人。
The old gate was locked.
ないな。
The crow held its shining trophy tight.
Oh. Hey.
the stranger whispered. I've never felt that. What does it feel like? Is it nice? It sounds nice. He was nestled, but it was just out of reach.
道具が必要か。
He was nestled between, but it was just out of reach.
何をしてるんだ。あれ何するん。ああ、そっか、さっきの茨みたいなところやるのかな。茨を日。ここだ。もう一個あったよね。ここだ。骨だ。
The broken net hung ominously
Army jump.
around the skeleton's neck.
I didn't get the... あ。
The stranger shivered in the cold.
何。
They'd moved through such dark places.
何。なるほど。はい。
They lay down and closed their eyes.
Eh? ああ、キーのとこだけ。違うよね。
Warmth was a distant memory, stolen by the passing miles. The stranger blinked at Ember.
知らぬもの驚きの目覚ましをメンバーに向けました。もう明日になったのか。一体どれくらいの間眠っていたんだろう。おはよう。
The stranger blinked at Ember. Is it morning already? How long have I been asleep?
Ah, ああ、手に繋がるんか。OK。 で網をゲットしたから鍵を取れる。
The key was nestled, but it was just out of reach. The old gate was locked.
あ、違う。
It
網じゃ
was
ない。
worth trying, but it didn't fit in the lock. The old gate was locked.
え、なんで、あれ、鍵は鍵取らんかったの。
The key was nestled, but it was just out of reach.
網穴開いてんのこれ。網穴開いてんのこれ。アイテム見れることできんのかい。おい。網壊れとんど。
The stranger whispered, I've never felt that. What does it feel like? Is it nice? It sounds nice. The worm looked helpless. As Ember picked it up, the worm let out a little yelp.
捕まえた。
Inside was a scrap of journal. The strangers on the water went on without me. Where have I landed? Vines and thorns stretch out to trip me.
この上にもあるの。
The Wanderer's Diary. Unfamiliar trees, a path overgrown. Is this a resting place? A place between places? I call out, but mine is the only voice.
ミミズを使って網を、てかあの人に聞きに行けばいいのか、漁師に。網を直せ。君に絶対この餌あげるんだと思う。
The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling.
ミミズ。ほい。あ。
The This was not how Ember had imagined the end, the gurgling of water, a deafening heartbeat. But then... the fog returned Ember's good deed by leading them to a lost forlorn.
ありがとうございます。ああ、先に来すぎた。もうね。
The stranger spoke. You look hungry. There's a cook in the swamp. Keep telling them that it doesn't taste right. They'll keep giving you more.
こっちだって何も食べないで働いているんだ。
Ember found the Wanderer's diary. The oily smell of frogs. They know more than they will say. They watch me watching them.
よし、助けに行こう。難しいとこだ、絶対。
The stranger stood alone. Their friends have fallen aside. Retreating from what came next.
もうちょっと待ってよ。
The stranger had ventured on. Now they were deep in the woods. It felt so pointless.
Yeah, これでいけるか。よし。
The stranger spoke hesitantly. Is the campfire crowded? Let me gather myself. I'll see you there. The stranger spoke hesitantly. Is the campfire crowded? Let me gather myself. I'll see you
よし
there.
よし。連れて帰って。あ、こっちには来させてくれるけど、帰りは自分で帰れとね。なるほど。了解した。で、おいちゃんに聞きたいんだ。網を直してくれと。おいちゃん。助けが必
The
要。
fisherman noticed the broken net Ember was carrying. Let me have a look. See what with a silk thread. the fish with each knot he tied. And here you go. Good as new.
やった。ありがとうちゃん。やっぱやってくれるな。サンキュー。
The key was nestled between the reeds, but it was just out of reach.
今度こそ。よし。
The old gate was locked. Ember placed the key in the lock and slowly began to turn it.
Bushok.
The stranger gasped for breath. Dark water slipping above their head.
Naるほど。OK。一回押されたところはそのまんまなんだ。
The sea didn't care if they sank or swam. Slowly the tides ebbed, washing over old walls. A safe harbor emerging from the inky depths. Ember reached out a hand.
ここはもう最終か。OK ね。
The stranger looked down. The ground feels good beneath my feet, friend.
そうかい。よかったね。あと一人か。
The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." The path ahead lies behind that door. Know that if you return, you will always be welcome. Warm yourself, little one. Time is to be savored. the stranger said, "Thank you for being so." With tears, the stranger said, like the stranger spoke, "My head feels clear for the first time." The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." Step backwards, little Ember. Look behind. Upon a small grassy cliff rests a forlorn. The door was sealed shut.
あと一人いるんだ。
The stranger said thoughtfully, "I felt so alone. I was so lost." The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." The path ahead lies know that if you return, you will always be welcome. Little one, you're the path to I will guide others to follow after you clear the way. There are others like me who can help. You will always be welcome here in the forest.
あと一人いるんだよね。あそこの人。あの人も助けたい。どうやって行くんだあそこに。
The fox's happy only reply was silence. The path was blocked.
まだ行けないのかな。いけるじゃん。
The travelers. I miss a good roast frog. Oh, how they crackle.
耐えた。
The stranger had been forgotten. They tried to follow as best they could. But no one heard them when they fell behind. The stranger looked at Ember with surprise. Someone came back for me. Thank you.
えいやで。よいしょ。力変えれないの？変えれないか。よし、心置きなく次いける。
The ghost said, "You have done all you can, little one. Your journey lies ahead."
綺麗だ。
The stranger thought, "I feel ready to move on."
じゃあね。
Once again, Ember could feel eyes watching.
あいつ何なんだ。
Ember approached the forlorn, but they said, "I know what I need to do. I don't want to be helped." Ember could not help. Not all problems were puzzles to be solved. Ember approached the forlorn. They said, Ember could not help. Not all problems were puzzles to be solved.
ああ、やばい。取るの忘れた。一回戻してくれ。
Ember uncovered a journal entry. Dusk brings the longest shadows. The lanthorn comforts me. Soft melodies from home. The wild things listen. Yellow eyes in graying trees. Do you know where we are?
ここはどっか君は知ってるか
I've been walking forever, lost in the
街
marsh.
で迷ってずっと歩き続けているんだ。
The two travelers were talking
と静
quietly.
かに
Yeah,
話
I
をしてい
got
ます
so lost in the
街
marsh,
で
you
迷
know.
ってしまったんだ。
Why go anywhere else if
こ
it's
こ安
safe
全なら
here?
どっかに行く必要なんてないだろう。
Yeah, never. The birds scare me though.
鳥が怖い。この鳥か。
The guard squawked. Stand back, don't. The guard was protecting a path down between the rocks. Nothing down there but sadness and turn. Go see the Forest King. He'll set you straight. The Forest King shook. You'll see there's no need to. He'll make a bird of you. Go get your feathers.
生意気な鳥目。
The crossroads gate was locked. The guard joked. Another scrawny Ember, and with a bag looking all nicely. Both guards started looking at Ember with a deathly. The guard leered. Yes, come a little closer. Let us see what's in that. We guard the door to the. Oh yes, we decide who gets to see the king. The Forest King will want to. Yes, come this way.
あ、ちょっとそっちの道気になるんだな。一回戻らして。いや。
Change your mind, little. Don't keep the Forest King waiting. Don't stray too far.
はーい。なんだ。どこにも行けねえじゃねえか。行け。なんだい。合わせろ。行くぞ。開けろこのカラス。
Change your mind, little scruff. Don't keep the Forest King waiting. The Forest King. Yes, come this way. A feeling of foreboding overcame Ember.
うおー、気持ち悪い。
Ember was terrified but tried not to show it. The giant bird spoke softly. Another little Ember. Do not fear. The bird is a friend. Ember wanted to feel safe.
気づけないで。
Oh, little Ember. Birds will take another. Stay safe in the nest. You'll never turn. Ember was still afraid. Is it the night that scares you, little one? See? Night birds will make the world less frightening. It wasn't only the night that frightened Ember. The bird was disappointed. Stay? Hope is false. Hope herds little ones in the Forest King spoke. Perhaps they could rest here. It was hard to know what else to say. Clever little Ember, you will stay. You will not turn. Search for hope no more. Now take this feather.
赤い羽。
Feather means Ember. Birds keep little. Birds should never leave the nest. The guards seem pleased. I can hold that. Leave him alone. Yeah, one of us. And we all share sprags and things. The stranger wanted Ember's attention. Being careful, you should get away from here while you still can. You can't trust the birds. I've heard there's another campfire in the marsh. Well, that's where I'm going if I can find a way down. The travelers had disappeared. The campfire remained. Bear tracks lay in the cinders. The travelers had the campfire remained. Bear tracks lay in the cinders. The guard squawked. Stand back. Don't come any closer. Nothing down there. Go see the Forest King. He'll set you straight. Got your first... Stand watch here. Promise you won't let anyone pass.
通せ。
Ember didn't like deceiving the birds. But what choice did they have? They couldn't rest in that place forever. They had to. This forlorn was not the same as the others. The forlorn whispered, so I may never be ready. The future is yours, but mine is mine. Ember left the forlorn. The time wasn't right. Perhaps would never be. Ember hurried away from the birds. The mist hung close to Ember, hiding them. The Forest King seemed frightened, the birds cruel. Ember would rather risk turning forlorn than become like them. Ahead there would be others to help, and maybe a way to move on. The traveler seemed distressed. I'm sure that it's been a while since. It's my fault. Hidden away was a scrap of journal. There are memories here, bound in rock. I hear their voices echo in the ancient stone. I find footprints by the cinders, a makeshift camp. It looked like a map, but pieces were missing. The piece formed a new route. It was the same place as before. But how? An eerie scene, like a moment frozen in time. Ember found a scrap of journal. I heard them coming. The snap of a twig, a flutter of birds. A figure dashing through the undergrowth. Another like me? Gradually, more of the map was revealed. Hidden inside was the Wanderer's journal. Another face at last. a catcher of fish resting by a pond. We work together, silk and tar and aching fingers. My boat floats once more, though I almost wish to stay. A section of bridge had somehow been ripped from its foundations. The fog was so blinding, Ember was turned around.
In ところだよね。と。変わんない。
It was like the map had been broken on purpose.
Yes.
The mist revealed a secret place. Was it hidden on purpose? the stranger. I said something, and now I'm lost. That it's too late. The skeleton looked held tightly in its hand was a red feather. The skeleton looked held tightly in its hand was a red feather. The skeleton looked held tightly in its hand was a red feather. The skeleton looked peace held tightly in its hand was a red feather.
Nantan hall.
The statue spoke. The instrument you now, another before you, took great effort to hide it deep within this riddle. The lanthorn began to glow.
どうやって使うのこれ。何を長押しってさ。長押ししても何も反応しないじゃん。はい、これ。そういうこと？あ、あれとの忘れちゃった。間違えた間違えた。
Inside was a secret diary entry. Pink, orange, red, brown, leaves gently dancing to the ground. Crunch, crackle, lovely sound, fall into a giant mound. The stranger spoke. They said something, and now I'm lost. But it's too late. A lost message was inside. The mist is thick. One way blurs into another. Where do I end? Where does the world begin? I cannot see far. There was one last place to reach on the map.
Hold up.
The fog was so blinding, Ember was turned around. Ember felt a great relief to be out of the mist. The way through was ruined. Muffled by the fog, Ember was sure could that have been a tremendous snow?
何がしたいんだ。
The way through was ruined, muffled by the fog. Could that have been a tremendous snow?
いや、あっち持ってけばいいのか。 Phew.
Ember didn't mind getting muddy. The slide was such fun. A sleeping pig. They looked happy. The plant looked, and it was in Ember's way. The fruit was giving off a sickly sweet smell.
ブーちゃん来い、ブーちゃん。食べた。
Ember chuckled. The dangerous plant was no match for a hungry piggy.
Got it.
A hideous odor filled the air.
Wow.
And suddenly, the reason was obvious. The pig inhaled a giant snort of air. Wait, what's that? Ember shuffled nervously. Other embers fed me treats, but then stopped. You feed me now. As the pig chewed, a light grew in its belly. Surprising, a little sparky. But what I wanted, something more fruity. The pig would eat anything. Ember just needed to find more.
うるせえ豚だ。ほらよ。
And with each thing it ate, the light grew even brighter. Fruity, fresh. But what I wanted, something with more crunch. Perhaps if Ember could satisfy the pig, they might be more helpful. Ember found a secret note from the Wanderer. Something beckons. This place is not home. I trace the map in my head, recite the older myths. I have to move on.
サクサクしたものってなんだよ。
The skull was disgusting. Perhaps the pig would like it.
まさか人の骨をあげるのか、あいつに。サクサクしたもの持ってきました。
This was the last thing Ember could find to offer. Crunchy, embery. Not much meat, but what I wanted. The pig's stomach made an almighty sound. Ember chuckled with relief at the large creature they had been so afraid of. The pig had vanished, but something moved beneath the surface. In a muddy pond, Ember thought the pig looked up. The pig shouted joyously, "Join me, morsel!" The pig seemed happy, but Ember wasn't. Why do I consume what I need? Some true nourishment, but so much cooler in this muddy pond. I can finally think. Thank you, morsel.
頭乗っていいの
Ember thought about the pig. Fed to bursting by other cheerily the street. Remind me of when it stood there, mouth open. I like you. Who had the pig been before? Ember wondered.
Note. Ah, ここか。
Ember watched as the helpful piggy cleared the path. Ember found a lost message. The smell of hot broth and hearty stew wafts across the swamp. By the cook's pot I meet another. They are on their own path, but we promise to meet again.
うん。いやー、疲れたな。今日はここまでにしよっかな。割とストーリーの進め方分かったし、今日はここまでにしときます。ご視聴ありがとうございました。またねー。